Welcome into Giants Postgame Live, presented by Mercedes-Benz, the official luxury automobile of the New York Football Giants. I'm Madelyn Burke here with two-time Super Bowl champion David Diehl, Super Bowl champion Amani Toomer. We are coming at you live by the Legacy Club at the top of Section 144 on MSG Networks, on YouTube, on all your Giants streaming services. And fellas, Giants ended this game against the Panthers in the victory formation. How much do we love to see that?
Isn't it amazing what vitamin W winning does to not only you, but to everybody in this stadium, and what it does for the rest of your week? You've got to give a lot of credit to this Giants football team, starting with the defensive side of the ball. We heard Matt Rule talk all week that they were going to come in and make priority running the football. Giants defense held them to 56 yards. We've heard all season about the production and being able to get after the quarterbacks. They hit, they pressured, 6 sacks on the day. They knocked out a healthy Sam Darnold in this football game. And talk about the offense, especially in the second half. We talked about the red zone issues, 2 for 3 on the day. And Daniel Jones continued to make plays for this offense, not only with the ball in his hands running it, but catching it as well in that big play down the sideline.
Oh, he's doing his David Tyree impression off his helmet. But you know, this is one of the things you talk about. This team, you know, they don't have to have, you know, every star position, have every stars at every position. What they have to do is not beat themselves. Today, with no turnovers, this team made it very difficult for a team to come in and beat them. The Carolina Panthers, a team that struggled a little bit. We didn't give them the game, give them short fields. You know, the fourth down stop early on didn't slow down the momentum. This is a win this is how the Giants are going to have to win, playing tight to the vest football, not making mistakes.
Well, and also David Diehl hit that vitamin W before.
Oh,
so
man.
This was like, you know,
we're in a race. We're trying to figure.
He got that mention in there first. He wins that mention contest right there. But we talked about Daniel Jones. This man, Danny Dimes, throwing the ball, catching the ball, running the ball. He really stepped in his own, especially in this second half.
Yeah.
He is you could see the grit. When you're watching him, you can see that, you know, he is unbothered by the record. He's unbothered by everything, and he's out there competing. And this is what the Giant organization is talking about. This guy is a competitor, and you can see it right now. 1-5, this guy's coming out playing like he's playing a playoff race, and that's what you want to see out of a quarterback, out of a leader of a team like this.
And as a receiver, you know how hard it is to catch a ball with no gloves in this weather. Like, that's not easy.
You know what? But I also love the way that Jason Garrett was able to manipulate the run game with Daniel Jones. We saw that pay dividends in the second half with the opportunities that Dante Pettis had running the football. And when you look at the way that this Giants offense shortened this game, completely dominated the time of possession of over 32 minutes of holding the ball this game, that's the exact recipe. Like you said, it doesn't have to be gaudy numbers. It doesn't have to be something that fantasy people are going crazy about. It comes down to X's and O's and the techniques and fundamentals throughout a 4-quarter basis in order to win football games like the Giants did today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And one man who really stepped up and took advantage of his opportunity, wide receiver Dante Pettis. Our own Paul Dottino is catching up with him on the field. Let's send it down.
Dante Pettis came up very big here in the third quarter. You had the touchdown catch, but let's go a little bit before that. The wide receiver option pass to Daniel Jones. I need to know, where did that play come from, and what are you thinking as you're executing?
I wasn't really thinking too much other than just get this ball to DJ. I saw he was wide open. I overthrew him a little bit, but luckily he's an athlete. He made a good play, so that was fun.
How much did you have to convince the coaches to let you make that pass? I mean, did you have quarterbacking in your high school career or something?
No, but, I mean, in college I threw a couple passes, had a couple touchdowns, so you know, they just figured, hey, you can throw it. Might as well do it now.
How much have you worked on that play?
Not a whole lot. We ran a couple times in practice and stuff, so yeah.
This has got to be a thrill for you, because early on you weren't even available on the practice squad. Now you're active and you're making big plays in a victory.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a blessing.
And
All
the
glory to God.
touchdown. They almost said that your shin was down. They had to review it, but they said it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
Did you have any doubts?
I didn't know that I was down or not, I mean, I thought it was a touchdown the whole time. So, yeah.
Dante Pettis, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Dante Pettis, let's get a look at his numbers. 5 for 5, 5 receptions, 39 yards on the day, a 27-yard long, a touchdown that, as Paul mentioned, but also a completed pass as the passer, not just the receiver on that. I love how he admitted to Paul. He was like, I wasn't really thinking about it. I just want to make sure he got the ball.
Yeah, one thing I've thrown a pass in a game or two, and you want to get the ball out of your hands as quickly as possible because those quarterbacks are exposed for all the rib shots and everything. You want to get it out. So to get it out, to get it complete, Daniel Jones makes up for him with an overthrown pass. But he had a great game. I mean, the fact that, he scored the touchdown, he had that long 27-yard completion, he just made a difference today. 5 of 5, that's very good production from a guy who's, trying to find his footing in the league. And this is a way that you realize to yourself after a game like this, you can play in this league, things are going to turn around, just keep on going.
I love the fact that he came in and produced in a time where, in practice, you don't get a lot of experience until those injuries pop up. And the fact that he was on the same page with Daniel Jones with the timing of this offense and understanding, okay, where do I need to get in and out of my breaks? Where do I need to sit in those zone coverages? And those are the exciting things when you watch young players like Pettis step up, because we know when you hear the cliche, next man up, it's like, well, how much is he really going to be able to do? But the fact that we see players now stepping up and really taking that ownership of that role, that's what you want to look forward to in a young football team like the Giants.
Really making the most of that opportunity. Like they say in the Drew League, no excuse, just produce. And hey, guests of our post-game show receive a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's, located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. We got a lot more coming up on the show. Head coach Joe Judge and more. Stay with us on Giants Postgame Live.
Peerless design, cutting-edge tech, and a world-class interior. The exhilarating Mercedes-Benz GLC. Extraordinary runs in the family.
NFL fans, hungry for a big win this week? With DraftKings, bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. I could go for some chicken. That actually sounds pretty good. Anyway, download the DraftKings app. Sign up with the promo code, bet $5 to win $200, and make it rain with an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
90 years in the game.
And counting. This is our house.
We built this house.
It wasn't easy.
We had to rewrite the playbook.
You gotta have the right plays. That's how you do it.
Who's the MVP?
I am.
Sure.
She is.
Without me, this wouldn't exist.
We gotta bring everybody in.
Because that's how we all win.
On this field, you know me by my name and my number. I put in the work, and yeah, I'm proud of my accomplishments. I retired from the game, but not from wanting to achieve more. I'm on my business journey now, and my banking partner is Investors Bank. They give me the tools and the resources to reach my business goals. For what I do now and what I'll do next, I count on Investors Bank.
Truck's back. It's a cargo plane and jet flying through the sky. This year, the Hess Truck's here.
This holiday season, Hess gives you twice the high-flying action. The huge cargo plane has lights and a rear-loading cargo bay. Unfold the jet wings and take flight with button and motion-activated sounds. Free shipping and Energizer batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
A tradition each year. The Hess Truck's here.
Happy holidays from Hess.
At Fingerhut, we don't define you by your credit score. We celebrate you being you. So we offer low monthly payments on the stuff you need, things you love, and brands you trust. As you build your credit history with a Fingerhut credit account, If you're looking for the latest electronics, kitchen essentials, clothes, toys, and more, you'll find it all at Fingerhut. You do you, and we'll help build your credit at fingerhut.com.
Fingerhut credit accounts are issued by WebBank, member FDIC.
Opening week presented by Under Armour. The only way is through. 2 days, 3 games, 1 ultimate experience. Enter MSG's Ultimate New York Sports Fan Sweepstakes, and you can win 2 tickets to the Giants-Raiders game, 2 to Knicks-Cavs on the same day, and 2 more for Rangers-Panthers the very next night. Enter now at MSGUltimateSweeps.com.
Big Blue fans, are you ready to get in the action for another giveaway this week in the Giants Postgame Live Watch and Win Sweepstakes? We've got a signed helmet by Jabril Peppers for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone to sign up, or go directly to msgnetworks.com. And here's this week's keyword to include with your entry. The keyword is safety. That's safety. Sign up now for your chance to win. And good luck. And look at this. We got this nice little helmet here. Jabril Peppers signed helmet. East Orange native Jersey guy.
Yep.
That's a strong giveaway this week.
Christmas is coming soon. Any of those Don Bosco, University of Michigan fans, I'm trying to stay away. Congratulations. You got an opportunity to win a Peppers helmet.
Absolutely.
All right, Jabril Peppers. He's been a dominant force on this team. All right, for another perspective, the Giants got that W 25-3 over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Let's send it down to the field now as Brandon London and Paul Dottino are standing by with more.
Madelyn, 3 key points in this Giants victory. First of all, let's go to the third quarter. Pettis touchdown. It caps off a 75-yard, 11-play drive that took over 6.5 minutes to complete. On that drive, Brandon, where the Giants made it 12-3, they had 4 explosive plays of at least 10 yards, and Daniel Jones was critical to each of them.
Yeah, I call it the 3D, the Daniel Jones drive. He completed the trifecta. Not only did he run for a first down, he caught a first down, but he threw a touchdown as well. We got to see Daniel Jones take this Giants offense on his back and will the team into the end zone.
Now, the offense was not finished. They would score 20 consecutive unanswered points in the second half to walk away with this laugher. They got a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown. That's 4 consecutive possessions with points. And that's after they missed some opportunities in the first half, but man, did they turn it on.
We talk about complimentary football every time. At the point where it's 5-3, it's anyone's football game. And we got to see the Giants offense for the first time this year break a game open.
And this despite Carolina's vaunted pass rush. The Giants did a very good job of giving Daniel Jones an opportunity, and they used a lot of quick game.
Absolutely, getting the ball out. They were on rhythm. And you see on that first touchdown drive, that's what the Giants offense is, a rhythm offense. No penalties, only 1 negative play. They willed their way into the end zone.
Okay, we cannot go without talking about the defense. They only gave up 173 total yards. They had 6 sacks. Azeez Ojulari, the rookie, adds a deuce, 2 sacks to today's effort. Boy, they did a really solid job today getting after Darnold and then knocked him out of the game.
7 games this year, 7 games with a takeaway. We got to see the Giants defense be the Giants defense that we thought they were going to be this season, and they were rewarded by victory formation.
You mentioned those takeaways. James Bradberry with that interception. You know, Bradberry now has at least 1 pass defensed in 7 straight games. That is an all-time franchise record.
Yeah, and it got to happen against his former team. Nothing sweeter than that, Paul.
Yeah, nothing like that. This home crowd was electrified. It felt so good for these players. You should have seen them, Madelyn, as they came off the field today. They were jumping for joy. You could see that this was a breath of fresh air for the football Giants to be able to win one at home.
Yeah, and you see players coming off the field, throwing their hands up and getting the crowd involved. That's Giants football. This atmosphere here at MetLife Stadium was on fire this game.
Madelyn, as Bill Belichick might say, and maybe even Joe Judge, on to Kansas City.
On to Kansas City, indeed. We got a lot more to break out. Paul, I know that those players out there were on the field pretty excited. I know Paul Dottino was out there pretty excited, too, to get that win. But, you know, these guys mentioned the complimentary football, right?
Yeah.
This is something that we've seen the Giants have struggles with in the early part of this season. You know, the defense makes a play, the offense isn't able to capitalize on it. But later in this game, it seemed like they kind of started to balance each other out a bit.
No doubt about it. I mean, just look at the third down statistic. In the first half of this football game, the Giants Giants offense. 1 for 6 on third down, and we know the struggles that the defensive side had of the ball. Now when you go to the end of the game, Giants offense, 7 for 16 on third down. They were able to produce. They were able to put themselves in third and manageable in the second half compared to the third and longs in the first half where they started giving up pressure. And that football started coming out of Daniel's hands quickly and understanding exactly where he wanted to go with his progressions. When you start doing that, you know that defense feeds off of it. They come out with momentum and energy, and they know that they want to attack the opposing quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think enough's being said about how well the Giants defense did today with the sacks.
Yep.
2 for 15 on third down, holding Carolina to only two third down conversions. You're going to win a lot of football games in the NFL if you can do that. And they pretty much, they dominated. They stopped the running game, and the Giants also, going back to the offensive side of the ball, the Giants' offensive line, one of the things Milbury is talking about is how well they did with the rushing game and giving Daniel Jones opportunities to look down the field. So just like you said, it is complementary football, but that's the way this team is going to have to win, because there's not one side that's going to be overly dominant more so than the other.
Absolutely. You brought up the defense as well. Brandon made this point, but I don't want it to be overlooked. 7 games, each one with at least one takeaway by this Giants defense. That's something we can build off. All right, we got a lot more coming up on the program. After the break, we're going to hear from head coach Joe Judge, that and so much more as Giants Postgame Live, presented by Mercedes-Benz, continues after this. Stay with us.
At Yield Street, investment opportunities that have traditionally been reserved for only the ultra-wealthy are now available to you. With a single investment, the Yield Street Prism Fund gives you access to a portfolio of alternative asset classes. With expected 8% distributions paid quarterly, the Yield Street Prism Fund can help you realize your financial goals. Start as low as $1K and take your portfolio to the next level.
In America, the future belongs to everyone, so we built the SUVs of the future for everyone. Ford Escape and Explorer, built with Bliss to help detect vehicles in your blind spot, and with lane keeping system, because the SUVs of the future aren't built for a few. They're built for America. Ford Escape and Explorer. Drive one today. Come into your local Ford stores for special lease and financing options on the well-equipped Ford Explorer. View more at buyfordnow.com.
NFL fans, hungry for a big win this week? With DraftKings, bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. I could go for some chicken. That actually sounds pretty good. Anyway, download the DraftKings app. Sign up with the promo code, bet $5 to win $200, and make it rain with an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Pike's Peak, named after Zebulon Pike, who never made it to the top. Of course, he didn't own a sedan from our Sport Tune GT lineup. Well, Zebulon, this one's for you. Lease a new 2021 Forte LXS for $139 a month.
Every day, nearly 2 million customers across New Jersey rely on PSE&G to provide natural gas. And every day, PSE&G is committed to doing it safely. That includes making sure you know what to do if you smell gas. A natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. If you suspect a gas leak, leave your home immediately. Get far away, then call 911. Remember, smell, leave, call. Protect the ones you love. Learn more at pseg.com/gas safety.
Meet Norm. He lives with anxiety, but with the help of this latest innovation from Be Normal, he can be normal, just like everyone else. With the swipe of a finger, you can project happiness, confidence, machismo. Why settle for being real when you can be normal? The Normal Maker, new from Be Normal.
This item doesn't really work because there's no such thing as normal. We're all different. What we like, how our brains work. In fact, 1 in 5 of us live with mental illness. Don't filter who you are. Start by talking to someone you trust. And remember, there is no normal.
It's the wrong time to catch the flu, so it's the right time for a flu shot. Flu shots are safe, easy, and available all over the city. Come on, New York. Let's roll up our sleeves again. it's time to get a flu shot. To find out where you can get a flu shot, visit nyc.gov/flu or call 311.
Time now for the scoring drive of the game. Today's scoring drive of the game is brought to you by Investors Bank. Get the official New York Giants checking account only from Investors Bank. For the scoring drive of the game, we bring you to the third quarter. 11 plays, 75 yards, taking 6 minutes and 33 seconds off the clock, capped by a 5-yard receiving touchdown by Dante Pettis. Took very long for officials to review it, but after looking at the tape, they said, you know what? It's good. Giants went up 12-3 in the third quarter, and that's a wrap for the Giants scoring drive of the game, brought to you by Investors Bank. Now, the last 2 times the Giants played the Panthers, Graham Gano kicked the game-winning field goal, but this time he was on the Giants team, and this man broke the record in the franchise for the most 50-yard field goals, and he got to speak at the podium first.
Per the agreement with Coach Judge, he said I get to bat leadoff today, so I'm up first.
How'd that feel for you?
Man, I've had this game circled since the schedule came out. You know, I knew they were coming here, and I was excited about it. Obviously, I have awesome memories there, but at the end of the day, I'm a New York Giant, and that win feels really, really good.
Graham, did you have any idea that you broke a record today? You set a record for most 50-yard field goals.
Yeah, I knew, you know, people say it coming in, so I hear it, but I went up to the guys and congratulated them, because, I mean, obviously it takes a lot more than just me out there on the field kicking those balls. So I congratulated the guys and then just move on to the next field goal.
How much did you guys need this win?
I mean, I think as a team we've been as confident as ever, and it's not just saying that. We got a lot of great guys in the locker room. You know, I know the record's not what we want it to be, but you know, we control what we control, and so we come to work every day putting in the work, and you know, we've got a great group of guys on the team, and you know, the hard work paid off.
That sound from kicker Graham Gano was brought to you by Ford. Graham Gano passes Joe Danella for the most 50 or more yard field goals in Giants franchise history with 10 today. What an accomplishment, as he went 3 for 3 in the Giants victory. Now, let's send it down to the head coach at the podium.
All right, guys, it's a tough act to follow with Graham, but look, good team win today. I was pleased with the way you guys prepared throughout the week. A lot of things we focused on throughout the week, starting with fundamentals, going to the roots of how we want to play defense, run defense, play better zone drops and vision for our breaks offensively, winning up front. We knew they had a good defense, they had a very good run defense as well. You know, our emphasis was, you know, being able to finish the game when we need to run, be able to run effectively. I thought our team did that. You know, moving around. You know, this is a good team, puts a lot of pressure on quarterbacks, gets you behind the sticks. Thought Daniel did a very good job using his legs to extend plays. You know, receivers did a very good job today of getting open, making catches, and then making them tackle us in space, and had some productive plays that way. I thought the kicking game created field position for us, threw some pressure on their specialists as well as covering kicks. You know, so all 3 phases played together with good complementary football. You know, we're able to go ahead and grind this out to a point, and then, you know, you have to capitalize on your opportunities. I thought down the stretch of the game we did that, and we're able to go ahead and have a good team victory. It's a good team on the other side. You know, I think Matt does a great job with them. Obviously, you know, they're going through some different things and changes, but, you know, they come out there, they play hard, they're great team speed. You know, we know it's going to be a great challenge. I'm pleased with the way the guys respond throughout the week. So that being said, I'll open to any questions you have.
Coach, the defense hasn't played what was expected this year. And then last week, you know, there was even some question about efforts and all that. I know you're not going to say that. So to come out today and respond the way they did, what does that say about them? What was your assessment of them today?
We've got a very resilient team. You guys ask me all the time, you know, how do I see the guys come to work? How can I gauge the mood, all right, in the building? I tell you all the time, I do it based on how they show up to work, how they meet, how their intent and their actions, what they're doing, how they practice on the field. So that's my barometer. That's my measuring stick right there. When the team comes in, they work and they prepare and they do everything necessary to have success, they work together, that's when you know your team's moving in the right direction. I see it from our guys every week. We talk a lot to our guys about, all right, you turn the tape on. We're going to turn the tape on, you know, Monday, the same as we turn it on every week. What do we do well? How do we continue to build on that? What do we have to correct? What do we have to fix? And it always starts with fundamentals. So the call, the scheme, the check, whatever's against a certain opponent, that's going to be different week by week. We turned the team on last week from the Rams game. There's a lot of stuff that we had to correct, right? Not all of it applied to what we're going to do against, you know, the Panthers today. But the fundamentals always apply. And that's what we had to do. That's our emphasis right now, being a good fundamental team, eliminating mistakes. There's some things we have to clean up from this game. We'll go ahead and attack that on the film, make sure the guys understand the folks what we're working on, and keep going forward.
Joe, Daniel has had games with more rushing yards, more passing yards, more touchdowns, but is this maybe as tough a game as you've seen him play? I mean, he's running the ball, he's taking hits, he's catching the ball, all those things.
Are you saying tough in terms of a challenge to him, or physically tough what he showed him?
Physically tough. I mean, he took a lot of shots.
I think sometimes it's presented maybe a little bit different because you see him running down the field and he takes a shot on the catch he makes and all that stuff. But there's a lot of times he stands in the pocket, and I gauge physical toughness based on how he stands in there at the rush coming out and still delivers the ball. So to me, there's different ways you can gauge that. He definitely had a lot of plays today in terms of showing, his toughness. I thought he did a heck of a job on that, that trick play we had with the catch. I mean, look, we weren't really going for originality on that, but we thought it could be effective, and he made it work. Him and Pettis did that. They actually had a play in practice, look basically identical to that with the way Dante threw it and how he had to catch it. So it's amazing how practice execution becomes game reality.
How much did you practice? Did he have to make a one-handed catch in practice?
And one of them he did, yes. Yeah.
Did he catch them all in practice?
What's that?
Did he get them all in practice? Did he drop any in practice? Or?
He didn't drop any. We had a couple, I'd say, errant throws. It was a little bit of tryouts on the field at times, but, Dante comes from a baseball family, so I'm sure he's not going home for Thanksgiving in the future if he doesn't make that throw.
How much did you look at this game going in and say, look, they have a really good defensive front. We need to use his athleticism to our advantage here, and sort of, I know you always kind of do that, but how much more did you need to do that this week when you're devising the game?
Well, I thought Jason and his staff did a really good job early in the week of identifying, how we want to play this game. What does that team do well? How do we have to go ahead and play to our strengths, all right, and not let them go ahead and use their strengths to expose something of ours. So, we did some things that we normally don't show up in a lot of games that we've had. That was a focus of us throughout the game planning. Obviously Daniel's athleticism shows up in that. The quarterback run showed up throughout the game. Thought he did a good job, somewhere outside, somewhere inside. Some of the roll passes, which gives him a run pass option. Did a good job throwing the ball accurately, on the move today. Our receivers did a really good job of being in the right space at the right time, making catches on the move. I was really pleased with the way that skill group came together this week. It really was. Those guys worked really, really hard this week. And there were some things we had to change about how we practice this week just due to some of the numbers we had. They're going to have to carry over some of the things that we only did at a walk-through pace in practice that showed up at full speed this week in the game. And that was just commitment by those guys of just going back to how to do it fundamentally, making sure they were sharp on their technique, and then just communicating a lot between Daniel and that skill group of watching a lot of tape and him saying, this is where I'm going to lead you, this is what I'm looking for, and it showed up today in the game. That was pleasing.
Coach, congratulations for the win. When you go back and look at the tape, you had some unforced errors. What will you look at specifically? Because you had two of your offensive tackles illegally downfield. What are the kind of things that you and the coaches look for there?
Well, specifically on those ones right there, we can't be down the field illegally. That's got to be a focus of the guys understanding what the play is. It's a movement type of pass. We're going to know it's going to be extended time. We can't go down the field. We got to be smart on that and of understanding where the line of scrimmage is and where's that gray area. Sometimes they give you a little bit of buffer zone. Everybody in the league has that. Just be a yard or two. But you can't go drifting on down the field. You got to be more conscious of what you're playing at that point. Our guys, look, obviously they made the mistake. We corrected it. We shouldn't have had two. We shouldn't have had any. We don't want to have any going forward, and that's be a focus that we have to concentrate on. We don't want any pre-snap penalties or unforced errors. Those are some things in the first half that kind of delayed some of the movement, stopped us. We can't go ahead and shoot ourselves in the foot. So they stopped us in the red area. We were able to have a red area stop ourselves in the first half, but we were moving the ball at times and then going and putting ourselves back with those penalties. We can't have that. We got to coach it better. We have to execute better.
We've asked you about your pass rush and not getting sacks this
Say
year.
Again, now, what's
We've
that?
asked you a bunch about your
Right.
pass rush this year and not getting home on sacks. And obviously Aziz and Leonard did and were effective today. What was the difference today in terms of why you were able to be more disruptive with your pass rush?
I think there's going to be like any kind of, broad stroke answer on that. The guys have been playing hard. There's some things that happened today in the game that they're able to take advantage of the opportunities, and we were able to finish some plays. Again, it's not all about sacks. You look at the end of the year, you can say, okay, this guy's a 10-sack guy. Well, if we play 1,200 plays, what do you do with the other 1,190 plays? Okay, so it ain't all about sacks, but it's about pressuring the quarterback, pressuring the operation, playing complementary football, that the pass coverage ties into the pass rush, the zone drops or the man leverage, whatever it may be, all ties together. I thought our guys did a good job as a unit today really doing that. There was great focus on the defense throughout the week in practice in terms of playing together, understanding, how this team's going to attack you, what are different modes of attacking you, and how we have to defend them. So there was a great consciousness this week in terms of how to really be in the right place at the right time based on who we're playing. Thought they did a good job in preparation that showed up in the game. Matt, you had a question?
Yeah, just curious, how long did you have that trick play in the playbook, and what about this matchup today was a good time to bring it out?
Well, look, honestly, look, Jerry Shaplinski pulled that out of the vault this week, but it wasn't like he invented the play either. Look, you can take it right off the reel of, the Super Bowl, against Philly when he was in New England as far as what they did. I mean, actually, if you look at that game, I mean, that play was ran by both teams, both in the second quarter. You look back at the Detroit game last year that these guys played against Detroit, and they ran it against Detroit as a copycat gimmick right there, early in the second half on the first drive, kind of part of their script right there. So you kind of look back in terms of, things that come up, and sometimes you just watch plays and, look, you ain't got to, you ain't invent the wheel to drive the car fast, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to take what works for you.
Joe, I just wanted to ask you about more. Carolina was very vocal this week about the way they were going to attack you guys physically on defense. How important was it for you guys, and how much was your defense kind of looking forward to that challenge?
There's always a lot of talk. We're focused more in terms of what we have to do responsibility-wise. I mean, they could say they're going to come in and run the ball and come out here and throw the ball 60 times. So things change within the game. It's always – you can say one thing as a coach, and you get in the flow of the game, and you got to adjust. You got to change, right? So, in terms of coming in knowing they're going to try to run the ball, they always try to run the ball. They always try to pass the ball, too. There's always an element of screens, misdirection. Like, that shows up in every game. So just because someone has a quote in the paper, you can't go ahead and just morph your game planning process or just zero in on one thing because, okay, if you do that and you stop that one thing, then everything else may kill you, too. So you got to be balanced in how you prepare with it.
Joe, you mentioned Daniel, the idea of working with the different receivers this week and getting that communication up. How much did he take ownership of that this week? Really, I mean, you went into really today when you didn't know for sure which guys were going to be in, which guys were going to be out. As far as added to his passing, his running, his making the catch.
To be honest with you guys, it really wasn't any different than any other week. It really wasn't. Pettis and Sills catch passes every day in practice from Daniel. Okay, whether they're running our offense or they're working some of the scout team stuff and work with Daniel or Mike or Lewerke, whoever it may end up being. There really wasn't a great amount of difference in terms of how we prepare as a skill group. Those guys are always working together. And you guys ask me all the time in terms of, okay, someone's hurt, how do you respond? We prepare everybody. We have faith in everybody on our roster to come in, make plays, and be productive. We coach every player. Our job as coaches is to coach, develop, correct, and make sure we put you in a position to be successful. Their job as players is to execute and be productive. Our guys come to work every week. They do a really great job. I thought Dante really stepped up today, made some big plays for us. Sills did some nice things down the field for us, made some plays in the kicking game, stuff like that, being out there. That guy's earned the right to be on the field. He works hard every day for us in practice. So when it was a time for his number to get called, we knew he'd be ready. That wasn't going to be any question. You talk about the other guys in there. Colin, John Ross made some plays for us. Evan Ingram, showed up big for us sometimes. So there's a lot of guys making a lot of plays, but that's what we expect every game. That's what we expect every game.
Okay. All right.
You guys good?
All right. Any of those guys, the injured guys that we talked about? Do you expect any of them back next week?
In terms of guys who didn't play this week, they're all making progress, Jordan. We'll see. Move around, see where they go.
All making progress, all going to see where they go.
A little wink and a smile. Look at what winning does.
Oh, vitamin W.
That's right.
Vitamin
I knew
W.
I'd get it in.
We got a lot of vitamin W going on in this show. Love to see that. Joe Judge having some fun with it. But one thing that really sticks out is after every game, win or lose, he says, we got to get right back in the lab, back on the practice field. And he said today, the practice field is starting to translate to the game field. What causes that shift?
Well, I think, number one, when you think about the outcome of the last two football games going into this one, he talked about resiliency. It's not easy being a New York Giant in this market when you've had the last two games that this Giants football team has had. And when he talks about taking practice to the game field, what you do in practice is in a controlled environment. You know the circumstances. You know the situations that are coming about. But when you get onto the game field, there is chaos and adversity all around you. But understanding and your diagnosis of the play, what the defense is doing, and being able to handle that pressure in the moment and read it pre-snap, that's what taking practice field and practices to the game field means.
And I like the fact that, a lot of Giants fans stayed to watch the actual victory. They stayed for the victory formation.
Yeah.
And they were getting booed for the last couple of weeks, and they need to know that this Giant, like people who aren't used to being around these Giants fans, they'll boo you if you're doing bad, but they want you to do well. Yeah. They stayed because there is a passion around here for this team, and they get really upset when you don't do well, but they will stay, and they will be in here. If you're winning any type of weather, they will be here, and I think that's what's good for people in the locker room to see.
Hey, criticism is always better than silence, right? Because it shows that they care. It shows that they care. All right, we got a lot more coming up on the program. After the break, we're going to hear from one of the captains of the defense, Logan Ryan. That and much more coming up on Giants Postgame Live, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
We've never seen anything quite like it. We've never created anything quite like it. The all-electric, all-Mercedes EQS.
Truck's back, it's a cargo plane and jet flying through the sky. This year, the Hess Truck's here.
This holiday season, Hess gives you twice the high-flying action. The huge cargo plane has lights and a rear-loading cargo bay. Unfold the jet wings and take flight with button and motion-activated sounds. Free shipping and Energizer batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
A tradition each year, the Hess Truck's here.
Happy holidays from Hess.
Are you ready for flu season? With kids back in school and many people returning to work, we need to prepare for both flu and COVID this fall and winter. Protect yourself, your family, and your community by getting both vaccines. Everyone should get a flu shot. And people 12 and older should get a COVID vaccine too. Talk to your healthcare provider about getting both flu and COVID-19 vaccines. Learn more at health.ny.gov/flu.
I don't relate to you. I don't relate to you, no. And I don't talk about you on the internet. Never told anyone anything bad.
Rated E for everyone.
Like the sun carries the moon. When the wind blows, I shelter you. I'm on your side, baby, believe me.
Volvo has more 2021 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus awards than any other brand.
Today's game between the Giants and Panthers was presented by Tommy Hilfiger, a PVH brand and an official partner of the New York Giants. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Giants coming off a 25-3 win over the Panthers. Now let's send it down to Logan Ryan at the podium.
Logan, obviously this was a game where you guys' offense was shorthanded. Did you look at this as a defense and say, this is a game where we need to kind of step up, carry the team?
For sure. I mean, we always try to do that. And honestly, I think this is just a little bit, it's one win, and it feels good because we prepared hard for it. And it was kind of an identity game for us. Wasn't perfect. It was pretty good. Wasn't perfect. Some missed tackles, some stuff we got to clean up schematically. But we talk about pride, and I have a lot of pride, and this defense has a lot of pride, and this area has a lot of pride. And when people say you're not playing with pride, I mean, that's just, it's inexcusable. You shouldn't even allow that to be questioned. So I think today, no matter what was going to happen, we wanted to outscore them personally. I was mad we didn't beat them. It was 3-2, their offense versus our defense in points. So we really wanted to outscore them. But it just came down to pride and kind of a way you do it. Same plays, same defenses, same X's and O's. Not everything was magic, drawn up in the dirt. It was just playing with more pride and passion and let that energy lift the team.
Logan, you guys always talk about how you don't pay attention to the noise. But sometimes the noise gets so loud that you can't ignore it. Was that the case this week?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously ideally try not to. In professional sports, you play week in and week out. It goes good, goes bad. And this society, I mean, just in general, where we're at in technology, you're going to hear things, you're going to see things, you're going to hear how it goes. And you want to give the fans something to cheer for. You want to have good results. You want to, honestly, be rewarded for your work. And like I told you guys time and time again, it wasn't for lack of effort and lack of work. It just wasn't coming together. And today it came together for us defensively. It came together for us as a team. And we found a way to win. And that was the biggest thing. And now we have our way. Now we just got to try to replicate that with a great week of practice.
That sound from Logan Ryan brought to you by Ford as we take a look at his numbers. 3 tackles, 1 assist, 4 combined, and 2 passes defensed by Logan Ryan. Earlier this week, he said, you know what, as a captain of this defense, as one of the team captains, I've been focused on being a leader, but I really just want to go out there and be the best safety I can be this week. And he called it an identity game. That really translated to the field today.
No doubt about it. I think when you look at this Giants football team, you could say all you want, but it's down to actions. It's about what you do in between those lines and what you do for 60-plus minutes in a football game. No talking before this game. You didn't hear any distractions from this locker room with all the outside noise coming in. They came in determined and focused to find a way to win this football and to do it on all phases, offense, defense, and special teams. And as he said, some things still need to be corrected. You and I talked about the penalty aspect. Obviously, we want to do better on third down earlier in football games to really control the games, but this is what you can do to put you on a positive launching pad towards stacking wins.
Yeah, I mean, the best teams in the NFL are the ones that don't give games away.
Yeah.
And this is a game they did not give away. They made it tough for a team to come in. They ran the ball well, controlled the clock, didn't have any turnovers, got a turnover. Those are the types of things that if teams are all equal, you know, it's tough to beat a team in the NFL. So, you know, Logan was right. This is an identity game. This is how the Giants are going to have to win football games because they're not going to overpower you with anything else.
Yep.
Right.
Until you get some healthy players back.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Consistent pressure from the defense, consistent scoring from the offense, 4 consecutive scoring drives for the Giants offense. And that's how they got that W. All right, we got a lot more coming up on the show. After the break, we're going to hear from quarterback Daniel Jones. That and much more as Giants Postgame Live continues. We'll be right back.
"90 years in the game.
And counting.
This is our house.
We built this house.
It wasn't easy.
We had to rewrite the playbook.
You gotta have the right plays. That's how you do it.
Who's the MVP?
I am. John.
She is.
Without me, this wouldn't exist.
We gotta bring everybody in.
Because that's how we all win.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150, with available Pro Power onboard that acts like a mobile generator and an available tailgate work surface, it's built to get the job done. Because the truck of the future isn't built for a few, it's built for America. Ford F-150, drive one today. Right now, get the 2021 Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months. View more offers at buyfordnow.com.
Truck's back, it's a cargo plane and jet flying through the sky. This year, the Hess Truck's here.
This holiday season, Hess gives you twice the high-flying action. The huge cargo plane has lights and a rear-loading cargo bay. Unfold the jet wings and take flight with button and motion-activated sounds. Free shipping and Energizer batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
A tradition each year, the Hess Truck's here.
Happy holidays from Hess.
First, it was just like these distant roars in the dark, you know? But then they started getting closer and closer, and that's when I saw it. This was no bear. It was like a bear squatch.
What?
Dad, what's a bear squatch?
It's a cross between a bear and a It's made up.
The legendary 2022 Lexus GX with Apple CarPlay support.
He's usually sleeping.
He'll never sleep again.
Lease the 2022 GX 460 for $629 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Hey, Giants fans, it's time for the Hess Toughest Player of the Game, driven by the Hess toy truck. Back and better than ever and bigger than ever, the new Hess cargo plane and jet, while supplies last, only at HessToyTruck.com. Toughest player of today's game, quarterback Daniel Jones, 23-33 for 203 yards passing and a touchdown with no interceptions, not to mention 28 yards on the ground and 16 receiving yards. This man really did it all. Daniel Jones, the Hess toughest player of the game, as the Giants get the win over the Carolina Panthers. And now let's send it down to the podium to hear from Daniel Jones.
Daniel, obviously, take us through the one-handed grab in that play.
It was a pretty unathletic route getting out there, so he put it out there for me, and just tried to pull it in. But good play and a good design, something we'd worked on all week, and good throw by Dante.
Logan says something about your basketball skills and you like to brag, and he wants to get you out there one-on-one. What do you have to say about that?
I like my chances against Logan and a lot of guys in that locker room.
You know, it was Marvel Day today, so was that you channeling some of your superhuman abilities, the way you were running, throwing, and catching?
No, I don't think. I don't think there's anything like that. Just trusting in what we had prepared, what we worked on all week, and trying to execute.
What are you thinking when that play is finally called? I mean, you worked on it in practice, but then to know now it's actually happening.
Yeah, just trusting that. I think that's the biggest thing is going through the same process you did all week through the play, recognizing the look we're getting and trying to execute it like we practiced. So just trying to do that.
You got hit pretty good on that play at the end of that play. Was it almost a helmet-to-helmet situation, you think?
I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at it.
And as far as just the way you guys had to play today, you moved the pocket a lot. Did you know that you were going to have to absorb some punishment in this game in order to get some things done?
It's always a physical game. That's a good defense we were going up against, and a lot of speed on that defense. They're an aggressive defense, and so we knew it would be that kind of game. We expected it to be a physical game, and I thought we did a good job executing the plan.
When was the last time you had a reception in a game?
I don't remember one. So
Maybe high school?
Yeah, maybe I did, but I don't remember one. So.
I like how much fun Daniel Jones is having with that too, smiling and laughing and saying, you know what, I have a little notes for myself on that route running there, but you know what, we love to see a Daniel Jones that sound brought to you by Ford. But if you're in that locker room and your quarterback comes off of a game like that, how much are you ribbing him after this?
Oh, you're gonna rib him a little bit, yeah, definitely. Just because, the quarterbacks are. Everybody sees the quarterbacks all the time. They get all the publicity. Everybody's a little jealous. So every time something you can give them a little bit, you're gonna give it to them a lot.
I mean, dude hit for the cycle today.
No doubt about it. But you're still gonna give him some. And when it gets back to the locker room, you say you're an athlete. I just saw that route that you just ran.
Absolutely.
You got to give him a ton of credit for the resiliency that he showed in this football game.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I love to see out of him, he knew when to get out of bounds. He didn't take those big hits in this football game today. He got low. He slid when he needed to. And when you have a back or a quarterback that can force a defense to play 11-on-11 football, I know it makes my job easier as an offensive line than it does for you as a wide receiver.
Yeah. Well, you want the ball thrown to you, so you don't want your quarterback running at all. You want him back in the pocket, dishing the ball.
Give me the ball.
I mean, hey, he's just the third quarterback in NFL history to have a game with 200 or more passing yards, 25 or more rushing yards, and 15 or more receiving yards. Who knows? Maybe he'll be sitting in on those wide receiver meetings this week. Hey, you never know. All right, we got a lot more coming up on the show. After the break, we're going to hear from Big Cat, Leonard Williams, that and much more as Giants Postgame Live continues. After this short break, we'll be right back.
You gonna do that every time?
Whenever people ask for Smirnoff cocktails, Anthony Anvil Anderson always comes through with the big plays.
No one calls you that.
They do.
One thing we know for sure is things are always changing. So there are still reasons you may need COVID-19 testing. And Quest has options for the whole family, available at no cost to you. Simply schedule a test online for a nearby location and get your test results back as soon as the next day. Millions of people like you have trusted Quest for their COVID-19 testing. So schedule your test today at questcovid19.com. That's questcovid19.com.
NFL fans, hungry for a big win this week? With DraftKings, bet $5 on any NFL team to win their game, and if they do, you win $200 in free bets. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby. I could go for some chicken. That actually sounds pretty good. Anyway, download the DraftKings app. Sign up with the promo code, bet $5 to win $200, and make it rain with an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
All the best in Halloween. Yeah,
you got it.
This is gonna be lit.
All the hits.
If you want to get crazy, we can get crazy.
All the chills.
There's something up there.
All the classics.
Red Rock, I'm Chucky.
All the... all the... And DirecTV lets you have it all whenever you want it.
Awesome.
It's good to have you back. DirecTV, this is how you Halloween.
I need warriors like you.
What do I have to do?
Join us.
The journey from here is yours to decide. But that is just the beginning.
Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins.
Blue fans, are you ready to get in the action for another giveaway? This week in the Giants Postgame Live Watch and Win Sweepstakes, we've got a signed helmet by Jabril Peppers for you. Just scan the QR code on the screen with your smartphone to sign up, or go directly to msgnetworks.com. Here's this week's keyword to include with your entry. The keyword is safety. That's safety. Sign up now for your chance to win, and good luck. Of course, prize this week, a Jabril Peppers autographed helmet. Look at that. What a perfect piece to add to your collection of Giants memorabilia. All right, the Giants defense had a strong day today. 6 sacks, 1.5 of those came from Leonard Williams. Big Cat is speaking at the podium now. Let's send it down.
Saw you blowing kisses to the crowd. Is that what you were doing after the safety?
Yeah, I was joking around with one of the fans in the crowd pre-game. So then after I got a safety, I was doing it again to him.
So
yeah.
What you were joking around. So what was the exchange like?
I think like while we were out there pre-game warm-up stuff, he was like kind of doing that, like how I did last game, and instead of doing it back, I just like blew him kisses, and then when I got the safety, I did it again to him. Yeah.
Leo, how much did the defense need this need a game like this?
Oh, this is big time. You know, as a unit, we kind of talked about, you know, putting the team on our back more, and how, you know, this is our team is, you know, what we think is our team is built around the defense. You know, we take pride in being a defensive team, and you know, so far this year we haven't really been stepping up to the plate, and you know, I think this was a really big game for us. You know, we didn't allow any touchdowns, and you know, we're putting our offense in some good field position, and we closed the game out like we wanted to.
That sound from Giants defensive lineman Leonard Williams was brought to you by Ford. As you can see here, his stats, 1 tackle, 5 assists, 6 combined, 3 quarterback hits, and 1.5 sacks. This is his 6th career multi-sack game as the Giants get the win over the visiting Carolina Panthers. All right, we got a lot more coming up after the break. We're going to hear from James Bradberry, that and much more as Giants Postgame Live presented by Mercedes-Benz continues after this. Stay with us.
At Yield Street, investment opportunities that have traditionally been reserved for only the ultra-wealthy are now available to you. With a single investment, the Yield Street Prism Fund gives you access to a portfolio of alternative asset classes. With expected 8% distributions paid quarterly, the Yield Street Prism Fund can help you realize your financial goals. Start as low as $1K and take your portfolio to the next level.
Truck's back, it's a cargo plane and jet flying through the sky. This year, the Hess Truck's here.
This holiday season, Hess gives you twice the high-flying action. The huge cargo plane has lights and a rear-loading cargo bay. Unfold the jet wings and take flight with button and motion-activated sounds. Free shipping and Energizer batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
A tradition each year, the Hess Truck's here.
Happy holidays from Hess.
On this field, they know me by my name and my number. I put in the work, and yeah, I'm proud of my accomplishments. I retired from the game, but not from wanting to achieve more. I'm on my business journey now, and my banking partner is Investors Bank. They give me the tools and the resources to reach my business goals. For what I do now and what I'll do next, I count on Investors Bank. we doing?
Fabulous.
I wonder how the firm's doing without its fearless leader. You sure you want to leave that all behind?
Stay restless with the icon that does the same. The RX, crafted by Lexus. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Just let it ride.
Jets fans, you know who this is.
This is the time. That's my short shot.
Y'all never say I let my fandom get in the way of a good bet.
You gonna have a revenge game?
They're going to win, and I also think they can get the first touchdown.
Let's talk about the spread.
That's what we're doing here on Betting Exchange.
Live on MSG. Join us.
Welcome back to Giants postgame.
Really did a great job getting pressure on.
Here's head coach Joe Judge.
Our guys are going to fight straight on through.
Made some big-time throws.
We're going to hear from the guy who threw that touchdown.
I'm looking forward to next week and the next challenge.
We've got a lot more coming up on the program.
James, what did you see on the play where you got the interception?
I seen an over route coming from the other side, so I kind of fell off my man, and then he overthrew the tight end, and it came right to me.
How did it feel for you guys to have the performance you did today? I know there had been a lot of talk about how much the defense had been struggling. How personally did you guys take that this week?
I mean, we took it personal, like you said. You know, we're defense, and our goal is to stop them from scoring, and we haven't been doing that the past few weeks. So our goal today, you know, come out here, play strong every series, and I think we did a good job of doing that. So we're definitely happy with our results.
What was different for you guys in your mind? What did you do differently?
Differently, I think we communicated well all around throughout the whole game, you know, first quarter, second quarter, all the way through. And I don't think we did a good job of that in the past few weeks. So I think that was different today.
James, did you get a sense as the game was going on, Darnold was getting frustrated, and what is the defense's mindset like when you see he's the starting quarterback, in the fourth quarter they bench him and put somebody else in?
Yeah, I think their whole offense was getting frustrated. I know our front seven, they did a good job of rushing the passer today, getting after the quarterback, and I think that affected him today. And as far as, you know, seeing another quarterback come in, I'm not sure. He's just another quarterback to me, and I'm trying to get an interception. You know, that's what I was thinking when he got in. I figure we still got to make some plays to keep our offense ahead.
That sound from James Bradberry was brought to you by Ford in his vintage Giants hat. We see that right there. But he said, you know what, just another quarterback just trying to get another interception and a fumble recovery. Only player this season who's done that. It's such a huge impact that he's made on this defense, and he's continued to grow as one, right?
Yeah, he's going to be asked to make big plays. You know, with his ball hawking skills, he's going to be the guy that's going to be the leader in that area. But, you know, the defense did a great job in terms of stopping the run. I mean, that's the real thing that changed the momentum, because when you stop the run, you win the time of possession. When the Giants win the time of possession, you know, and no turnovers, that's pretty much how you win a game.
I think when you look at the pressure that this defensive line put on Sam Darnold and their offense, it's only going to open up more opportunities for you in coverage, considering the fact it throws off the timing. It makes the quarterback throw from a different launch point. And that's going to be big as they go to Monday Night Football, as Chad Henne may be the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs with
And
Mahone.
look at this.
Yeah.
Diehl jumping ahead right here, jumping ahead in the syllabus. But as we queue up the next game right here, the Giants are at Kansas City, Monday Night Football, November 1st, 8:15 p.m. kickoff. And Diehl, as you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes helped off the field in the fourth quarter as the Chiefs were kind of getting their butts kicked. 27-3, the Titans came away with that win.
You put that mildly. 4 sacks, 1 interception, 2 fumbles, 4 for 11 on third down. They have been struggling offensively.
And they haven't been great at home as well. They're not. I don't think they've won a game at home yet this year. I could be mistaken, but you know, Kansas City is usually a very tough place to play. This team is struggling. The Giants are struggling. This is going to be a good matchup. If the Giants come in and make Kansas City beat them and not give the game away, then we're looking at a similar situation today. Giants have an opportunity to win.
Well, it's kind of like what we talked about last week, right? It's not so much about who your opponent is as who you are and what kind of team you are. And we've said this so many times. The Giants have either shot themselves in the foot or, you know, beat themselves or made the victory happen. And so they got to come into Monday Night Football, that pressure, those bright lights.
Yeah, the penalties are something that we, you know, even today, the Giants had 8 penalties for 60-some yards. They didn't, you know, that's something that they can improve on to make themselves even a tougher out.
No doubt.
Yeah. And so penalties are a point of emphasis as we got Monday Night Football. Quickly, is there an extra little juice when you got those primetime lights on you?
No doubt about it. I mean, everybody going back to your kindergarten teacher is sitting there watching that game. And you know, for right now, for this Giants football team, with the way that the Kansas City Chiefs are reeling, you can go steal a win in KC right now.
Steal a win in primetime. That changes a lot right there.
Yeah, who would have thought at the beginning of the year that the Kansas City is struggling the way they are now?
Thanks for hanging with us on Giants Postgame Live. We're here every week after the Giants game. We'll see you next week.